Hey y'all, I'm Najee and welcome back to my channel. It's almost gone. I love a good cappuccino, like, yes. So today I wanted to come and talk to you guys about my single season, my personal everything, okay? I just want to share everything. Okay, maybe not everything, but everything. So I'm gonna be really honest with y'all because, you know, at this point, we're here. Like, we get it. You know, we get each other a little bit. So I'm gonna be honest with y'all and I'm gonna say that I just stopped talking about singleness. Like, I used to post videos, well, it wasn't a lot of videos, but I posted videos about singleness before and talking about, you know, me and my season of singleness, if you will. And I've talked about, you know, waiting till marriage, and I've talked about all those things. And if I'm being honest, I stopped talking about those things. Like, I just wanted to stop talking about singleness because I kind of felt like I was like a broken record, like saying the same things over and over and over. And I just wanted to stop making videos on it. I was so sick of talking about waiting till marriage, and I was tired of talking about singleness because I'm just like, I ain't gonna lie, I'm just like, at this point, I would rather be living it out than just keep talking about it, you know what I'm saying? I've been noticing lately how people have been saying that it's easier for them to hear about singleness while they're in their single season, and from a person who's actually single and not someone who is already in a relationship. So for me, I was like, you know, maybe in hindsight, I'll talk about singleness and what I did, you know, to, you know, what I did in my time of singleness and stuff, and maybe that'll help people. But people were like, no, they'd rather hear it from someone who's in their season of singleness rather than someone who's married and looking at it through hindsight. So that kind of just made me like, wait, maybe I should be talking about this more. I just, like I said, I just stopped because I just felt like I was just saying the same things over and over, and I felt like a broken record. And I also just felt like it was like, okay, how long are you gonna talk about this? Like, at some point you're gonna be looking around the corner like, where is your person, right? Well, I guess for me, we're gonna talk about my personal single journey, single season. It was funny because somebody was like, I saw somewhere, they were like, single season. Like, at this point, if you've been single for like 20 plus years, it's not a season. Like, baby, it's a lifestyle at this point. I got my iced coffee, my iced cappuccino. I love making that. It's like one of my favorite things to do. Don't be surprised if one day I just pop up with a cafe, y'all. Like, don't even be surprised at this point. I never really fully express my personal journey. You know, for me, I didn't want it to be like singleness is like a dreadful thing. That was just my main thing. I didn't want to come up here and share with you guys all the times that I felt very, very lonely, or all the times that, you know, I just wish I had a boyfriend, or all, like, I just felt like that was putting a bad stigma on singleness. But at the same time, if you gotta be real, you just gotta be real, right? And there are the good and bad and ups and downs in every area of our life, not just with singleness. With that being said, y'all, let's get right into this video. I'm just gonna like share with y'all more about what I've been learning in this season of singleness, and what God has been doing in me and through me, and hopefully through all of that it can help you. So yeah, y'all, grab your drinks, cappuccino. Grab your drinks, grab your snacks, relax. I'm gonna be exposing my personal journey today. So grab whatever you gotta grab, sit back, relax, and let's get into it. Okay, so in the area of singleness, y'all already kind of know, you know, my story, but for those who don't, like, God pretty much told me to not date anymore. And how I got to that was, I was the type of person where I would always just entertain guys. It didn't matter like if I thought they were cute. It didn't matter if I actually really liked them or not. I just would entertain them. Like, if they showed me attention, I'm gonna sit there and entertain. So when I got to where I live now, I live in Atlanta, and when I got here, like, y'all, the dates were popping off. Okay, it wasn't that many dates, but I was just, you know, if a guy would come and talk to me, and he wanted to take me on a date, I was gonna go. So yeah, so I would just like pretty much entertain any guy. Like if someone now don't get me wrong, I still had standards, but at the same time I was just kind of like I just want a boyfriend, and I would just, you know, go on dates to just have a boyfriend. And so it wasn't until I was saved and I went on, I think it was my last date that I went on, and God was just like, if you would stop, if you would just wait, I have something better. And also in my mind, I was thinking like, you know what? Because I started seeing more things on YouTube. Like when I say YouTube really taught me about courtship, YouTube really taught me about godly relationships and how relationships can be with like boundaries and purity. Like YouTube was definitely like my teacher in that. And the more I watched videos on that, the more I wanted that for me. You know, I was saved, but I still didn't know much about like, I didn't know much about like boundaries and like fully waiting till marriage and stuff like that. I truly did not know. I knew that was something that I wanted to do, but I didn't really know how to go about it. So YouTube was really that for me. And after God told me basically like, listen, just chill out, just wait on me. That's all he kept saying was just wait, just wait, just wait. And so I made that personal decision. Okay, I'm not gonna date anymore. I figured that if God has ordained everything in my life, if he's giving me purpose, if Jeremiah 29:11 says, for I know the plans that I have for you, declares the Lord, plans of good and not of evil, to prosper you, to give you a future. If God has ordained all of these things in my life, then what makes me think that he's not already ordained my marriage, my husband, who I'm supposed to be with? So I was like, so if I'm literally trusting God for every other area in my life, why am I not trusting him to lead me in this? So on top of that, like I said, I was watching different Christian couples and stuff like that and just seeing that, whoa, this could actually be done. Like, so that made me want to wait. That made me want to not just date around casually, because that just wasn't for me. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I just stopped dating and I stopped entertaining DMs. Like if somebody would DM me, I would talk to them. Y'all, I was literally on, what was I on? I was on Tinder. Was it just Tinder? There's another one. Anyways, I was on dating apps, all that, and I just put it into it. I was like talking to people from dating apps. I had never went on a date from anybody from a dating app. You know, the cool thing is I was able to meet people organically and I would go on dates with them. But I was on dating apps talking to guys and stuff like that. Like, y'all, like I do not like dating apps, okay? I was doing all of that, and then I just felt in my spirit, and I heard God tell me to wait, and that if I waited on him, he would have something better for me. So that was probably 2018. So from 2018 to now 2022, it has been a roller coaster. Let's just put it like that. Like, I'm an advocate for girls to know who they are. Even before I was saved, I would always talk about how, you know, a half and a half, that's not a good whole to me. What's a good whole to me is me coming in whole and that person coming in whole, and then we create a whole. And I still stand by that, because that's all I wanted in this season that I was in, of God isolating me. And not only did he isolate me from guys, but he also isolated me from friends and all that different stuff, because he had to teach me things that I wasn't going to be able to learn if I was constantly just doing whatever my flesh wanted me to do, or talk to whoever it wants to talk to. And although when I got saved and stuff and I was talking to guys, I never played around with sin or anything like that. But at the same time, if those guys are not from God, then I'm wasting my time, and I'm not giving that time over to what God wants to do. So when God cut all that off for me, he then took me in this season of just pruning me and teaching me and showing me him. And like, I began to get very intimate with him. And there are so many factors that play in that in our relationship with God, but definitely him isolating me from those things that I wanted so bad was definitely the reason of my close connection with him, for sure. And I know that, you know, people would try to, you know, I like, even sometimes I fall into the, you know, just be content with God, just be content in your singleness, and that's when it'll happen. And I know that sounds so annoying. I know that sounds so annoying, but at the end of the day, we should be content with God. But I'm gonna tell y'all something. I'm gonna tell y'all the true, I guess, secret of getting in a relationship, because you can be content with the Lord all day. You know, people say that all the time, be content, and without you even thinking about it, and before you know it, you know, you'll be in a relationship. Like, how many of us have heard that, right? But I'm gonna tell you something that trumps all of that, y'all. It's timing. Timing. It doesn't matter if you are the most content single person on the planet, okay? It doesn't matter if you're not thinking about relationships and you know, whatever, and you're just focusing on God. Because if it's not God's time for you to get married, it won't happen. You could be super content. You could be doing everything right. Like I've been following the Lord for some time, y'all, for some years, right? And you know, I've had my ups and downs and stuff like that. And when it comes to contentment, like, you are going to have your ups and downs with that, okay? There are going to be some times where you're super grateful one day. Like, for me, I'll be super grateful for just being God. I'm like, ooh, I feel so good. Like, why would I even need anybody else? It's just me and you, God. And then there are some days where I'm just like, oh man, I feel very lonely today. And in the Bible, it says it is not good for men to be alone, y'all. And I'm telling y'all, that is so true, because a lot of times we feel like, well, you know, I've tried the whole dating thing. I've tried this, I've tried that, and it didn't work for me or whatever. And let me tell you, y'all, it's because you have not met the right people. You have not met God's ordained people for you in your life. You have not met the right people. So it doesn't matter if you're out here dating a bunch of people. If they are not from God and they are not the right people for you, you are going to feel just as lonely and alone and isolated if you're surrounded by all of them. You're gonna feel just as alone if you were in your season of singleness and you were just committing that to God. So if you're not with your right people, y'all, then it does not matter who you date, who's around you. If they ain't right, and if it's not God's timing for you to be married, you're gonna feel just as isolated and lonely. Y'all, it's all about His timing, right? What do you do when you're waiting on God? What do you do when you're waiting for God's perfect timing, y'all? You just wait, like, just wait. And that's what He would tell me so many times, just wait. And I know we hate hearing that. Like, there would be times I would like, you know, God, is this him or is that? Or like, when am I gonna get married and all that type of stuff? And He'd just say, just wait on me, just wait on me. Y'all, I got so tired of hearing that. Like, just wait on me, just wait on me. And I'm like, no, but when? Like, and or if, like, for me, there would be so many times where I just thought, I'm not gonna get married. I'm never gonna get married, because like I said, I would go on dates, it would never work. I was never the girl in school to have boyfriends and all that type of stuff. Although I really wanted to, I never had boyfriends. So growing up, in my mind, I was never that girl who really thought much about her marriage and wedding and having kids and all that type of stuff. I never really thought about that, because I always felt like, well, what if, like, I felt like I might not get married because I would never have boyfriends and stuff. So sometimes when you keep hearing God say, wait, just wait on me, just wait on me, just wait on me, it could kind of feel like He doesn't care, or that He's not listening to what you're saying. It could kind of feel like, you know, He got other things to do. And that's what I would feel sometimes, like, oh, God got way more important stuff. And I would even sometimes feel like marriage isn't that important. When it comes to me, I would feel like God didn't really care that marriage was that important, you know? So that's what made me think for a long time, maybe I'm not gonna get married. Like, and that was kind of scary for me. But I was just like, well, what if God doesn't actually want me to get married? Because every time I would, you know, talk to Him about it, it would kind of just be like, like, it ain't, you ain't, it's not time, like, And so that would make me feel like, dang, like, is it gonna happen? Like, so for a long time, I would feel that I was never going to get married. And there was a lot of factors that played into that too. But now I'm starting to see that, y'all, it's just all in God's timing. And I know we hate to hear that, because God's timing is mysterious. You know, you don't know what He's gonna do. What does the Bible say? Like, a day to God is like 1,000 years, and 1,000 years is like a day. It's like, daggone, I don't know. I don't know how long this is gonna take, but something that, you know, even just last year that God is just, and I cannot wait to fully share everything that God has, you know, taught me and shown me, and everything that he's told me. I can't wait to fully share that one day, but in God's timing. But even last year, you know, God told me that I was going to get married, and y'all, that was like water to my soul. Although when he told me, I was just like, this ain't from God. I'm just, you know, my desires are getting the best of me. But that, knowing that it's going to happen was enough for me. I used to be so caught up in the when and the how and the where and the da and all of that, where my desires would literally consume me and overtake me when it came to this stuff. And so now that I know that it's going to happen, now all I can really do is just trust God. Like, all I can really do is trust God and allow him to prepare me. You know what I'm saying? I think for a lot of us, we get caught up in the when, the what, the how, the where, the all that type of stuff. And the only way God was able to really tell me that little bit of, it's going to happen, Najee, like, it's going to happen. And he gave me so many things about that. But the only way that even happened was because I was in close connection with him. He knows my heart. He knows that I love him. And so that is where the contentment and singleness kind of comes in, because you want to get close to God so that when he speaks things about your life, you're in a good position to hear them. And then he trusts you with that. He's like, when he told me that I was going to get married, right after he told me that, guess what he told me, y'all? He was like, so with that information, I want you to do nothing with that information. He was basically literally like, just, okay, now that you know, this is what I want you to do. I'm paraphrasing. This is what I want you to do, Najee. Nothing. I want you to do nothing. I want you to continue to get close with me. I want you to continue to be with me and just become intimate with me. Just continue to do what you're already doing. But it was good that God is able to give us little seeds like that, because it plants hope within our hearts. I think where a lot of us come in, where it's dangerous, is when we take what God says and we try to make things work for ourselves. You know, it's kind of like with Sarah, how she made the servants, you know, have a son with Abraham, because she heard what God said, but she tried to take matters into her own hands. And I don't want us to do this in our season of singleness. I want us to be able to hear from God over our lives and what he's speaking, because I know God is speaking a lot in this season and he's telling us a lot of things, but I don't want us to take that and then try to go make things happen on our own. No, that's why God told me he doesn't want me to do anything but what he just told me. He doesn't want me to go try to do this and that and look for people. No. He wants me to just get close with him, intimate with him, listen to him, and let him lead me and guide me into all truths. He'll do the rest. Yeah, y'all, my season of singleness that I'm in has definitely been up and down and a roller coaster. Some days I feel super content. Some days I feel very lonely. You know, you just want your person. You just want the person you're gonna, you know, talk to about things, and like, you know, y'all can share your day and you know, just the person you do life with and do things with and just have fun and all those sorts of things. So there are definitely days when I'm up and down, but at the end of the day, I always tell God, do not allow me to meet my husband, or do not allow me to get married until I am home. Real quick, some of the things that, you know, even in just the past couple of months that God has been doing within me, and maybe one day I'll make a whole video about preparing for marriage if y'all are interested in that. But even now, like, I'm in therapy now, which is amazing, and you know, I'm listening to myself more, and like, you know, listening to my health and my mental health and my body, and I'm doing different things, like taking care of myself way more than I normally was. Now, this isn't all in just preparation for marriage, because we all should be doing those things anyways for ourselves, but God has just been leading me in that area. And y'all, when I tell you, therapy is helping me so much. And so those are just some of the things that I feel like God is leading me to do in this season of my life. Like I said, I don't know the when, the where, the how, and all that type of stuff. And one thing I can say that I'm at right now in my season of singleness is I'm at peace. I can say that very genuinely. I am at peace. And what gave me peace? By God speaking his word over me. And God knows us, so he knows the things that's going to allow us to just be at peace. And so now I'm just in this season of just getting closer with God more and more, taking care of myself mentally, physically, emotionally, setting goals for myself, you know, continuing my purpose in God. That's what I'm doing now in my season of singleness. It's been a journey. I don't want y'all to think that everything is just like, ah, ha, ha, ha. But I also want to just share with y'all the things that I struggle with too, because it's not always easy. Waiting till marriage, all of that, it was never meant to be easy, but it is definitely meant to be worth it. And I know in the end, it's going to be all worth it, y'all. Will y'all believe that too? Will y'all believe over y'all lives that this ain't easy, what I'm going through, whatever it is you may be going through? But I know at the end that it's worth it because God got me and he's leading me. He's guiding me. So, all right, y'all. That is the end of this video. Y'all, thank y'all so much for watching my videos. Like, for real, it means everything to me. Thank y'all for following me. Thank y'all for just interacting with me. Thank y'all for always showing love for me and my channel. I absolutely appreciate it. There have been times where I prayed for people like y'all who can be supportive and love God with me. So I just want to thank y'all again, and I pray that my videos are never this idea of perfectionism that, you know, it looks like I'm trying to be a certain kind of way. Never, y'all. And that's another thing too I wanted to add in very quickly that God has taught me about preparing for marriage and marriage and all that. He's not asking us to be perfect. No. And that's something that I had to work on too, perfectionism. He's not asking us to be perfect. He's asking us to be righteous, and he's asking us to be made whole. And he's going to give you the tools, and he's going to equip you and show you how to become whole. And you know, I just shared a little bit of the things that he's doing in my life that's creating me, making me whole. And know that, and I had to stop looking at wholeness as something that's so far off and realize that it can be something for me today. So I can say I'm walking in wholeness. Why? Because God is the one who's making me whole. He's making me well. So look at wholeness as not something that you have to get to, but look at wholeness as something you can walk in right now. So yeah, I just thought, y'all, that was for somebody, because that was very, yeah, that was definitely for somebody. But yeah, y'all, I love you guys so much, and I pray that this video encourages you, no matter if you're a guy or a girl. I pray this video that it just encourages you in your season of singleness, and I pray that you guys know that you're not by yourself, and know that God is doing a good work within us. And yeah, y'all, there are so many more things, y'all, that I want to share with y'all that's going on in my personal life right now, but I'm gonna make a whole video dedicated towards that, what God has been doing in my life, and some crazy faith kind of things that's been happening and going on. But I'm gonna share that eventually. Y'all just keep rocking with me. Make sure y'all go down below and hit that subscribe button. Give this video a thumbs up, a like, share the video, and yeah, y'all, make sure y'all are continuing to follow me on my social medias, my Instagram and my TikTok, and just keep in touch with me, y'all. Keep in touch with me. There are some amazing things that are taking place in my life, in my personal life, as well as for this channel and in my community as a whole. So yeah, y'all, thank y'all again for watching, and I will definitely see you guys in another video. Bye.